It's logical for us to know that Shane Langston, Robert Patrick's New Age Technologies Protection Director and helicopter bodies tosser, is so determined in keeping Reacher and his people off their tracks, because it's Langston's henchperson Rolodex that's setting Reacher Season 2 with increasingly enjoyable fight sequences. Langston's assassination squad deployed to Atlantic City. Dixon and the huge guy dipped their bodies in cement. The Queen's home, staffed with New Age security and hired muscle. On that try, Reacher and his team entered into destruction mode, replete with an engineered explosive device, plus an improvised gas grill projectile. And in this episode, Reacher Season 2 Episode 4, a biker gang Langston must maintain on retainer for this type of thing gets their asses given to them by the special investigators. It's like 9 on 4, but that's irrelevant. Reacher doesn't even pause to listen to the leader's arrogant spiel. And he doesn't only use his renowned headbutt maneuver to destroy faces, he also uses his skull to demolish a guy's humerus, ulna, and radius. Whatever it takes, fists, clubs, and knives. Carla Dixon even pokes an MC man in the eye with the spiky heel of her shoe. That's right, Reacher and the special investigators accomplished all of this goon dispatching in formal attire, for reasons we'll explain in a moment. More importantly, the group's unplanned excursion to Boston leads to a reunion with Malcolm Goodwin as Oscar Finley. Reacher's departure from Margrave, Georgia at the end of the previous season to restart his roaming existence implied that we wouldn't see any of the pals he'd made there again. However, when the squad requires assistance, Finley Reacher reaches them. Margrave's head of detectives did not retire, but instead relocated to his hometown and became a lieutenant with the Boston Police Department. As a result, when the team needs to rely on the slimy legislative director of a senator with ties to New Age, they turn to Finley to make their lie about ensnaring him in a drug arrest appear genuine. Finley taking the man into custody, Reacher and O'Donnell dressed up as FBI agents it works, and provides a great precedent for Reacher to continue bringing back favored past players. Roscoe Conklin, are you still alive? The numerical data Franz left behind has been deciphered by the X-110 feet-ers. It's a total of all efforts. Only 1,547 of the 2,197 events were completed successfully, with a differential of 650, as in a 650 at $150,000. The records stolen from their vehicle B and E at New Age also linked a particular Senator Lavoie to a weapons project nicknamed Little Wing by the aerospace firm. In his private sector operations, O'Donnell frequently traps beltway operators in dirt deals. And his approaches are ideal for persuading the senator's legislative aide to speak with him. Dixon and Neagley, dressed in gowns, set their sights on Daniel Boyd, Kyle Mack at Boston Symphony Hall. Boyd is in a lot of trouble with Finley and the cops after a little bit of flirting and a little bit of implanted cocaine. Boyd sings to Reacher and O'Donnell about Little Wing, anti-missile software modified by New Age for use in shoulder-launched rocket launchers. Only because of that money did the aide and senator believe Little Wing would never fall into enemy hands. They were gullible, and it appears that Langston is now selling this lethal New Age technology to the highest bidder. Russo keep an eye on Gaetano, Guy, the NYPD detective, whose moves are getting, as they say, utterly fishy. It's difficult not to agree with Russo's supervisor, Lieutenant Marsh, Al Spienza, who tells him about the smash and grab at New Age technologies that happened before the detective could execute his hurriedly filed search warrant. And I bet it was the tin soldiers you were meant to be keeping your black eye on, Marsh yells at Russo, who then asks his boss to keep his voice down, which sounds daring, and says he'll make it right. Reacher is prudent to keep Russo in touch, but at a safe distance. He doesn't notify the investigator about the team's journey to Boston until it's too late. Even if Reacher is merely upset with Russo and isn't skeptical of his motivations, we are. What about the second loose end, the man only known by his nicknames AM? The swarthy chameleon executes a cosmetic surgeon in Denver so that he may steal his identity and go to JFK for his previously planned appointment with Langston. Reacher and his team have uncovered that New Age has a manufacturing plant in Denver, the type of site where top-secret guiding software and shoulder-fired rocket hardware may be combined. What is their strategy? Send Dixon and Neagley west to find the hardware, while Reacher and O'Donnell travel to Homeland Security in Washington, D.C. Reacher's late brother worked for Homeland, and he's hoping Joe's old contacts may assist the 110 feeters learn more about AM's genuine identity. When Langston's motorcycle gang mates corner Reacher and the crew outside a late-night eatery, it's this plot to separate the squad that's in the works. Reacher contacts Langston from the MC boss's phone after the beatdown, as the special investigators are shaking off the fierce combat surrounded by their rivals unconscious, shattered bodies. Dixon, frustrated, "I fucked up my shoes."
Packing, Reacher. Also tell you you die tonight? You said you were smart.
Before you ask, it is finished. Just not in the way you were hoping. Langston, who is typically smarmy, claims Reacher is causing a lot of trouble for his complex operation. And, while it's unlikely that the New Age executive would ever follow through on a bargain, he does question what Reacher would want in exchange for a halt to the henchperson slaughter. However, we already know what Reacher desires. And it's quite simple. "I wanna throw you out of a helicopter."